everybody, it's Lon.TV, and ever since the days of the Newton 20 years ago, we have been trying to replicate the experience of pen on paper with our electronic devices. The latest entrant is this little guy from Adonit. This is the Jot Script Evernote edition. It is a little stylus that has an Evernote branding on it. It's designed to work with Penultimate, which is Evernote's note-taking application. But before we get into how it works, let's take a look at the hardware. It is a Bluetooth-powered device, and what it's doing is it's using the Bluetooth to detect when the tip of the pen is placed on the surface of the tablet, so it can kind of ignore your hand resting on the surface of the touchscreen, which is pretty neat, although it doesn't always work like they say it will. It runs on a AAA battery. It comes with a lithium AAA battery, but this is not a rechargeable battery, so you'll want to make sure you have a couple of extra AAAs laying around. I would imagine the battery life will be a good length of time. It does have Bluetooth, I think 4.0 technology on board, so it's pretty up to date. To turn it on, you just hit the button here. There is some configuration you have to do in each app individually. It supports 3 apps, including the free one from Evernote called Penultimate. But once you have everything connected, your iPad will indicate that you're up and running. Now, what it's supposed to do is when I rest my hand on the tablet surface here, as you can see, it doesn't pick up my palm. It's picking up only the surface of the pen. The problem is that it doesn't feel all that accurate. There's a little bit of a delay as I'm writing, and it also kind of adds things. So I didn't really connect my S and my E here, but it kind of just assumes that I did. And I just don't like the way my handwriting is coming out in this thing. It doesn't really feel all that accurate. The other thing that really struck me is that there is a bit of a delay as you're using the pen. So as you can see here, the line is dragging behind the pen, and eventually it catches up. But that's a real issue. I mean, usually when you're writing on paper, there is no delay. You're getting the pen actually writing the ink as you go. So I found the writing experience not to be all that desirable on this pen. It just doesn't feel natural to me. And you would think after all these years of evolution with technology that we would get to a point where you could write a little bit better. Now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to do a review of this a little bit later, like one of my retro reviews. This is a Apple Newton from 1994, 95 in that era, so about 20 years ago. What's interesting is that when I write on this device, I don't have the same delay. It's immediate. It really feels more natural with a 20-year-old device than it does with this expensive stylus and the equally expensive Apple iPad. So I think we're not there yet. In fact, I think we've taken a few steps backwards, that this little Newton actually does better with electronic ink than this stylus and my iPad. So my advice is it's better than perhaps a cheap stylus that you would get, mainly because it is able to determine whether or not your hand is resting on the surface of the iPad. That works most of the time. I've seen some variation in that, but generally it works pretty well in detecting exactly where the pen surface is. But beyond that, the delay in writing really is a problem, and the resolution of the ink, the electronic ink, as it gets rendered on the screen is also not very accurate either. So my advice, probably skip it. This is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.